Good evening, everyone. For this assignment, it was two parts. The first part was to um, do a supposed to have been a poster involving our research project. As it happens quite often with me, uh, different applications that we may be assigned to do. Do not always come up this one. I couldn't get to the poster areas in well actually in Microsoft because of the fact that in my antivirus isn't working or whichever. However, um, the templates is what I was looking for. So I had to kind of go around. So that just explains quickly what's going on with this. My topic of research actually was avoidance restrictive food intake disorder, um, or shortened it is called ARFID. And this is a topic that I chose mostly because of the fact that um, I suffer from it myself. And since we had to do research, what better research to do is, something that's close to you and near to you. So with this, the DS M-5, they have replaced the name of it and called it the ARFID because of the fact that it used to be children's or just solely a children's disorder that they thought from infancy to childhood. And later, then you come to determine that uh, this eating disorder affects more than just infants and children, that it actually can cross through a lifespan with some people. Sometimes it could be neurological, it could be from a physical, psychological standpoint. Um, Also, with it kind of involves to like maybe homeless people or people that um, if they put in hunger zones or not enough food. There's kind of debate about that because with a RFID, they want to classify it as really no other issues being involved, but it can actually be a combination of things. I don't think it really stands by itself, particularly. Um, One of the main concerns about the disorder is that there's actually a lack of nutrition that individuals suffer from. And it can interfere, like with, say, your thinking process, let alone with fatigue or providing energy, because there's a lack of daily nutrient requirements that are missing from it. There's different areas that the assignment has us to go into. Um, the hypothesis question, um, that one of them we can determine is, are people that have this disorder, are they aware of it? And do they care about it? Or do they want to get some type of assistance help for it? And the reason I say this like this is because of the fact that um, health conscious people, it's a trend nowadays for people to uh, uh, not eat certain foods, certain class of foods and everything. And when they do this sometimes, even though they think that they're eating healthy, um, there are vital nutrients that they're missing out on, and that can have to do with energy and also mental wellness also. Um, Not only that, but it's been diagnosed that there are also mostly kids, but people that also suffer from the disorder. They have autism or OCD, anxiety or ADHD. Um, Kind of, if you think about it, most disorders, any disorders, they usually have a cause of some type of psychological stress, trauma, or effect that a person has experienced. And I believe this is pretty much the same thing. I've had the disorder myself for quite a long time, and I try to think back what's approaching this assignment of my recent awareness of when this began. And like I could think about in high school and everything, junior high school, where I would eat like 2 peanut butter cookies and a small thing of milkshake, and that's all I would have per day. Or sometimes, maybe if things were well, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I'd have a big mixing bowl of cereal and have that. So I was trying to think back how far it went with me, and I came to the conclusion that when I was 4 or 5 years old, we had catfish for dinner, and lo and behold, it was not filleted. And at that time, I guess I was a pretty healthy eater, and I got bone caught in my throat. Now, one of the causes that they do say um, with this disorder is choking, and that's how I realized that it happened with me. There are certain plans that treatment plans that kind of I discussed a little bit. I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit because my time is up. I guess I rambled on to a little bit too more about the other part, but that's all right because y'all want this video. So, but there's different processes, qualitative and quantitative measures that were used in the study that I did, and ended up using a mixed technique to gather data and gather information about the study. Treatment plans, they can vary depending on actually the cause of the disorders themselves. But for the most part, for now, they're using like cognitive behavior therapy and also a therapy called DBT. Those are the 2 most common treatment plans that are used. And more research, as most of the research project that I have come across, that I have experienced, indicate at the end that things are inconclusive and more research needs to be done on the particular topic, and so as with this one. Thank you.